Next question is, and this is going to go to Jenna. What particular experiences or skills have prepared you to serve as a board member?
Well, as I previously said, I would not be here tonight if I didn't think I wouldn't be able to do this job. In the past, I've undergone leadership positions that required active listening, cooperation, and compromise. I can manage scheduling for I have in the past regarding work, school, volunteering, and extracurricular activities simultaneously. I know in the past I had the honor and privilege of going to Girls State, and that was a government-based program that I went away for 2 weeks and learned about government and different roles that the government can take into the community. And that was really an eye-opening experience for me, since not a lot of people got that experience. In doing so, I think I've gained qualities and that I can't just replicate. So that's one of the reasons why I feel like I would be able to serve on the Mohonasen School Board.
Thank you. Chad?
Thank you. At the beginning, I started off with a few of the reasons why I believe I'm qualified for board member, but some of the things I think would just highlight, to make salient points here, would be just my experience as an attorney. Like I said before, I'm an advocate by trade and very analytical, and I think I brought that with me to the board the first time around. However, noting that I am not the school nor the district's attorney, I realize that when I'm a board member, I'm a board member just like my fellow peers, and I don't try to tell everybody what the law is, but a skill as an advocate, of someone who is used to seeing both sides of an important issue and to be able to communicate and see a good way ahead is a particular skill I think I bring with me. As a judge advocate and officer, I'm a major in the Army Reserve now. I've been a legal advisor to commanders for well over a decade and a half, dealing with things such as effectuating good order and discipline. And with that advisory role, there's just an inherent desire to serve. And that translates into passion when it comes to our kids. I think one of the main reasons why I'm qualified to be on the board is that I'm a dad. I got 3 daughters in our public school district, high school, middle school, and now Pinewood. I'm a property taxpayer. I feel what we ask as a board of all of our constituents here, saying, we got to pay for all of this, and a sense of community and a collective buy-in of our neighbors, of our parents and our teachers, all that shapes one to be a good board member, and I think I have that.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's see if I can stay in my time limit this time. 23 years of teaching, as I said. I'm a writer, a researcher. I have really wonderful leadership. I've led a lot of groups. I'm a really wonderful organizer. I've helped to organize rallies and protests and things like that over the years. And I'm effective at lobbying because our state legislators all know me, but some of the national legislators know me as well now because they see me coming, especially those who are on the education committee. So I have some network skills as well, and so I have networked with teachers and professionals in education all across the United States. So I stay very abreast of what the current news is statewide, but also nationwide, as far as the attacks on public schools and what we can do about it. So I think all those things help me when I'm a teacher, but I'd say the one that helps the most is being a former teacher, because I was in schools for 23, well, I was in schools as a student, and then I was in schools as a teacher for 23 years. And you really get to know the system, and you get to see the wonderful things about it, but you also get to see the flaws in it. And so eyes wide open, and that's a good thing for a board member, I think. I think that's about, I don't like talking about myself in the positive, so I guess I'll just let it go at that. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, we have time for one. Oh, I'm sorry. You have.
Could you repeat the question?
What particular experiences or skills have prepared you to serve as a board member?
Well, like I said earlier, I am a 2018 graduate of Mohonasen, and I'm a pre-service teacher. So I feel that no one knows Mohonasen better than the students, and I am willing to work collaboratively to make decisions that have the students' best interests in mind. And I also feel, though, since I am in college currently, it will be helpful to me to be on the Board of Education while taking teacher courses in college, so I can apply the practices that I am learning about on the board to better serve the students.
Thank you. Okay, we have time for one more question before closing statements. This will be to you, Chad.
Okay.
When you consider Mohonasen from your perspective as a taxpayer and/or a parent, what are two strengths the district has, and what are two areas in which you would like to see the district improved?
That is a good question. I think the Mohan Proud, the community, the sense of community that is felt within this district is vibrant, and it makes it healthy, and it makes it Mohan what Mohan is. I think that in past couple years, the amount of staff and teacher collaboration, I know that word is used a lot, but sensing I guess the litmus test of the parents in the community and our district that the state mandated tests were not the best. I think our district has been really good and kind of a trendsetter in finding different ways to modify the assessments and to make teacher, if not teacher-driven questions, but questions with educator buy-in here locally. That's about as best as we can do, I think, under the current paradigm, but I think it's one thing that has made me proud, seeing that change in the past couple of years. I think the CAT building is another asset that really makes our district cutting edge and offers a good swath of opportunities, both in technical and vocational fields, and to have that as a resource for our students. Areas for change, again, I won't keep beating the drum tonight, but I think just our community needs to be involved in continuing to petition our legislators for more funding. Just a casual research into this area will show that we are not even getting what we should be under the state foundation aid. The gap elimination adjustment was rescinded while I was on board the first time. That's a step in the right direction, but I think there's more work for us to do.
Thank you.
So, two strengths. I think our STEM program is excellent. Our CAT building is unrivaled. It's something to really be proud of. It's the shining gem in our Mohonasen schools. And I'm proud of our culture and our sense of community. I have seen parents involved in this district in a wonderful way. And people pull together, especially in this budget season, when we had to have the rally to express that we needed more funding. It just is thrilling to me, and I love being a part of that community. Places to improve? Well, I know we're working on respectful discipline. We need to continue to work on that, and I know that there's a committee right now working on that very hard. I'm looking forward to seeing what they find out and what they propose. And we also, as Chad had said, we need funding from the state so that we can keep class sizes down. As a former teacher, I know how important it is at the elementary level to keep our class sizes reasonably small. And it's important because children learn, the best through a play kind of oriented programming. And so younger children need smaller groups in order to do that. And all the studies have shown us this, all the education studies that have been done on class sizes in elementary, especially in kindergarten. So it breaks my heart that we have to raise it even by one student. And so I would hope that in the future we can find a way to have the governor hear us, to have the state legislature hear us, and to change the thinking about how much funding should be going to schools. Because if we're caught between a tax cap and a limited foundation aid from the school, we're just kind of treading water. We're not getting ahead. So that's my hope. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think some strengths we have are definitely our community ties, as my colleagues have said. I really love how Mohonasen families and teachers and staff and students, they just bond together and rally for what we need. And I think our programs are also a huge strength. We have renowned programs in music, athletics, science, math, everything. I think that's really important for the students to be able to express themselves and get a well-rounded education. I think our only issue is we need funding, and we need to stay together as a community to push for funding so we can continue with these great programs we have here.
Thank you.
So relatively, I just about completely agree. The community here at Mohonasen isn't just limited to the current students, their parents, and the current faculty, but what I have observed as a graduate is that those have graduated like even years past. They still have ties to this community, and even the faculty and teachers that still teach here. That's one thing I certainly value, because you don't see that in a lot of schools. Another thing that I also value is the wide range of different courses that we offer here, especially in the CAP building. You can't deny that this building is giving students a unique opportunity when it comes to their education. They aren't just sitting in lectures all day in the classroom, but rather they're developing real-world applicable skills. And this is a vision of diverse education practices is exactly what this district needs. However, one thing that we need to improve on, like all my colleagues up here have said, is in regards to state funding. So I understand that this budget is working with the resources that we have available. However, by cutting positions year after year, it's not going to fix any long-term solutions. And by cutting all of these positions, not only are we increasing class sizes, which could be detrimental to our students' cognitive development, but realistically, we're not making a significant impact in bettering their education. So that's one thing that I think that we have to work on together, not only as people in the board, but also in the community. We have to continue the momentum to get proper state funding.
Thank you. Okay, we will do our closing statements now.
I forgot that I had to do a closing statement. So, off the top, just that I have cherished the time, the 3 years that I've spent on the board. I've learned a lot, and I just remarked to Mr. Abbott a few weeks ago that I feel like I'm just starting to get the hang of it. It's like any job. The first year or two, you sort of like muddle through and like, what's this all about? What's that all about? And then by the time the third year came along, I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And so I hope to have some more time to keep furthering that ability and keep fighting for Mohonasen. We are in a battle. We are in a war. We have to all be warriors, and I'd like to be a warrior on the board. So I ask for your vote. Thank you.
I would just like to thank everyone who came out tonight to show your support and interest in our school. And if elected, I promise to be accessible to the community, to hear your concerns, and to voice your opinions. And I hope I have your support on May 21st, because there cannot be change if we don't embrace it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just really like to say that I appreciate to be given the opportunity to formally introduce myself to you tonight. I know that I may be young, however, I am here today because of the values I have gained with my time here at Mohonasen. Mohonasen has taught me to be proud of who I am, to stand up, and to support my community. It is because of the education that I have received here at Mohonasen that I feel like I can make a difference in this community. Once again, I thank you for this opportunity. I hope I will have the privilege to serve on the Board of Education with your vote in the upcoming election.
Thank you to everyone who has shown up tonight in support and kind of inquire into the candidates for board this time around. I think, in short measure, I'm a known quantity. I ran for 3 years on the board. I really tried to make sure that we were accessible to about everybody that we could. I really enjoyed being contacted by teachers, by parents, saying, hey, what about this? What about that? Can we change it? and just being a person of, with intellectual curiosity. I tried to be very active on the board those first 3 years and kind of take on pet projects, such as the policies for the district, inquiring about student discipline processes and maybe ways that we can relook at our student code of conduct and the way that discipline is handled, particularly at the primary and intermediate schools. But I really look forward to being a member on this particular board.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you. I was going to get a shout out Bob Piccarello. We'll miss you.
Thank you to our candidates for sharing their thoughts and ideas tonight, and to Mr. Roberti for helping keep us on track. As I mentioned earlier, we have recorded both the budget hearing and the Meet the Candidates event, so you're welcome to watch either. They'll be online by the end of the week. The annual school budget vote is on Tuesday, May 21st. Polls will be open from 7 to 9 in the Mohonasen High School gym. So we hope to see you there. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.